Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bridget Ekpo. Thank you very much for joining me today. So for most of you who live in the UK, specifically in London, you know Canary Wharf station is an underground station. And I don't know if you've seen this news about two men who reportedly committed suicide at Canary Wharf station within 24 hours. And again, just to highlight some of the issues facing people who experience or suffer from mental illness. So the first one who reportedly committed suicide in Canary Wharf station is sadly a Nigerian young man who is 32 years old. And he's been identified as Osazuwa Otote, who is originally from Edo State. He's originally from Benin, Edo State, Nigeria. The report says that this young man suffered from mental illness and was in a mental health hospital in South London, Lewisham, which is in South East London. And he was out with his carer, and they were walking around the area when he suddenly broke free from the carer and jumped in the station. He landed backwards with his head towards the tube doors, and this was the ruling that was given by the coroner, which was at which is the Poplar Coroner's Court yesterday. And the paramedics attended and they tried to revive him, but sadly he was declared dead from head and throat injuries. When this incident happened, shortly within 24 hours, another man who was he's not been identified, but the police just say he's a city worker, also committed suicide in Canary Wharf. This time it happened in the Canary Wharf shopping center, and this, bear in mind, is within 24 hours when the young man from Edo State committed suicide. And it says here that the city worker, he died after plunging 4 stories inside the Canary Wharf shopping center. Those of you who knows Canary Wharf very well knows that the center is built, is attached to the station, and you can just from the station get into the center and vice versa. And he plunged to his death, jumping, and this people who were around, eyewitnesses who were around, were distraught. Said that he's in his 50s. He put down his bag. He sent a text before falling from the 4th floor of the complex. And police and paramedics again were called to the Canary Wharf shopping center, and around 8:45 a.m. But sadly, the man again passed on. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and he was reported to have been a manager at a restaurant in the city. And onlookers or people who were around the area were saying how it all happened so quickly. He was there 1 minute, and the next minute he was gone, not knowing that he jumped to his death. And it's really sad incidents, both of them. And again, it highlights some of the issues with mental health. I think we don't really talk about mental illness enough, and this is a problem with Black people. Generally, Black people don't like to address illness when it comes to mental illness because of so many reasons: stigma, the shame, and the language, and people being afraid of being stigmatized and things like that. And I wanted to remind you guys about the vlog that I did a while ago with Dr. Taiwo, where he was talking about the stress bucket, and I'm just going to play a clip of that video for those of you who didn't see it. If you want to watch the whole video, it's I'm just linking it up here. If you click on it, then you would see what he's a psychiatrist, what he was saying. The explanation is quite simple, what he was saying about how to manage your stress levels and how easy it is for your stress bucket to be full and for it to flip over. So just listen to it, and I'll come back with the rest of my analysis.
Let me please make this point before we talk about. I mentioned this to you earlier. Before I go in, it's part of the treatment, but a way of knowing. There's something I was telling you about, Bridget, about psychological stress bucket.
Right.
Yes.
That's really interesting. I want to learn about it.
Psychological stress bucket. What does that mean? We are using bucket as just an example. If you fill bucket with water,
yeah,
if the water is bucket is three quarter full with water, how much more water can it take?
Just a little.
Just a little more.
Yeah.
So similarly, if imagine you have your stress, you can put them in a bucket.
Guys,
put them in the bucket.
Listen to this.
When it gets to 75% level or 80% or more, or around that level,
yeah,
the question you ask yourself is that how much stress can I take before I tip over?
Wow.
You understand that? So, and then if your stress bucket is almost empty, there's little. That means that you can probably take more stress than somebody whose zone is almost full.
Right.
For example, if you get to work, if your stress level was so high by Sunday night, and you get to work on Monday morning, and you are a doctor or a nurse or an accountant or a social worker or a school teacher,
and you get one miserable email like that,
or a carer, or even a politician, and somebody says a little thing that it can be annoying to anybody. If your stress level is very high, you find yourself your response will be beyond extraordinary. You will hit the roof. Because psychological stress bucket was almost filled up. Right. So that man filled it up for you, it became it was overflowing, and then you lost control.
Right.
So people with depression,
wow,
go through this as well. They go through it. Then the last straw, when the last straw comes and breaks their back, then they go into full depression. So depression is actually, even if it's not biologically mediated, if your environment is okay, or you haven't got the biological risk factors for depression, and you're facing a lot of risk, if you can manage your risk, or the stress factors around you,
right,
and manage your stress level, don't bite more than you can chew.
Right.
Know when to rest.
Well, please expatiate on that biting, because
biting more than you can.
We
chew.
Africans, we are chasing money. All we are looking for is money.
Money
is
good,
build
but
houses,
money does not give happiness. Yes. If you are biting more than you can chew, some people, I've seen people doing three jobs.
Did you say money does not buy happiness?
Money cannot give you. But well, we've seen millionaires commit suicide now. What does you want to know?
If I say that, they will tell me to shut my mouth.
Millionaires commit suicide in UK.
This is coming
not
from
only
the
UK,
psychiatrist.
across Europe, in America. Millionaires commit suicide. In Nigeria, we know of big time farmers who commit suicide. They drink gamalin. Not that they are poor, but something went wrong in their lives.
Right.
So suicide is common, but it is preventable. But most suicide is due to depression. I'm not saying everybody who commits suicide was depressed. No, but a lot of people who committed suicide were depressed. They had untreated depression.
Right.
Even some were treated, but treatment was not adequate enough, or maybe they were not even complying with the treatment.
So I'm just gonna end by saying to men and women, but men specifically, because statistics shows that men are more likely to be at risk of suicide than women. It doesn't mean that women are not at risk as well, or women are not suffering from one form of mental health problem or the other. There are so many women who are in mental health hospital fighting with depression, anxiety, all sort of mental health problems, schizophrenia, psychotic episodes and things like that. So please listen to what Dr. T has said in this video, and that's the main reason why I'm sharing this video with you guys today. Please listen to your body, listen to your mental health. There's nobody that has physical health challenges that does not go to see a doctor. I know in our Black community, people are always ashamed, and they worry about the stigma and the name calling and things like that. But please, the same way that you would seek for medical help when you're suffering from physical health problem, is the same way you should pay attention to your mental health as well. And if you are suffering from any form of anxiety, stress, depression, or you observe that you're experiencing negative pattern of thinking, before you lose touch with reality, just like Dr. T explained in that video that you just seen, please seek help. Go to your doctor. And if you notice that any member of your family or friends are experiencing these things, you can also support them by, speaking to them and gently encouraging them to go and seek help. Please do not wait until somebody loses touch with reality, or somebody, the condition becomes so bad that we are losing people. Young people are committing suicide. Middle-aged people are committing suicide. It shouldn't be. So, pay attention to your psychological stress bucket. And please look after your mental health. It is very, very important that you pay attention and you look after yourself both physically and mentally as well. Just going to leave it here today. Just a quick one. It's really sad, and for the families of those who have lost their life in this sad episode, we pray that the Lord comforts them and may their soul rest in peace. And we pray that God will comfort their family. Thanks a lot for watching. I love you. Bye bye.